Hello, everyone, and welcome to your final performance task for our Business Leadership Grade 12 e-learning course. This is it. This is our final project of the entire semester. This is worth 15% of your grade, and you will spend the next week and a half working on it in class or in your designated e-learning period. Okay, so obviously it's being rolled out this morning. It is Wednesday, and over the next week and I think until next Friday, so that's 8 days. If you multiply 8 by 75, we're talking about well over 10 hours of in-class time designated for this assignment. And so the expectations are high, but it is the final one. So I think you'll enjoy it, and it'll be a really great summary of your semester with us in this course. So I'm going to go through, in this video, I'm just going to go through the performance task with you and explain what you're going to be doing, and also like some of the questions that come up the most frequently with this project. And then outside of that, also just what my expectations are for certain questions as well. Okay. So going through this is a portfolio that you're going to be creating. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a Google document, and you're going to share it with me today. So I do expect to see those come to me today. It is expected that you will be working on this every day over the next 8 days, and that this isn't something that you will be doing at the last minute. So I am going to be following along on your journey in this performance task, just seeing how you guys are doing each day and checking in. So if you don't share this with me at some point today, I will be reaching out to you first, and then to your adults if I don't get this shared with me over the next 24 hours. Okay. So that's really the most important thing here. This needs to be completed in a Google document and shared with me on day one. You're going to title this Your Name Final Performance Task. So if it were me, Miss Thompson, Final Performance Task. Okay. So make sure you do that right away. This does have to be done in a Google document. So I have had students ask me, can I do this in a different way? No, in order to do triangulation of assessment and to make sure that students are not using ChatGPT or other ways to kind of create content, it has to be done in a Google document. Okay, so I won't accept it in any other format. Okay, so with that all being said, this is a business leadership portfolio. The purpose of this is for you to showcase your accomplishments within this course, personal and professional, as it relates to what you learned in this course, but also what you reflected on personally in this course. So I really want to see a lot of personal reflective practice. So really reflecting on your own personal journeys with some of the curriculum content that we've learned. Okay. So you have to, I also want to see an emphasis on your learning and connections to this course. So throughout your reflective practice and throughout the pieces of questions that you'll be asked to reflect on, I want you to connect back to the curriculum. So all of those TED Talk videos, all those articles, McLean's article on stress, the candle problem, the management theories, the motivational theories, the stress, conflict resolution, all of those things that we learned throughout this course, I want you to draw in on that as often as possible to demonstrate your learning, okay? And I'm not asking for content outside of the course. So for example, we didn't learn about transformational leadership. Last year, a student wrote about transformational leadership in their portfolio. And I was like, we didn't learn that. That's something you found on the internet. So again, you have to make it consistent with what we learned in our course. Okay. So with that in mind, you are also expected to include citations. As you know, we have been doing citations in Chicago style throughout the course. So that includes a footnote and a bibliography for every citation entry that you use in the course, okay? Through the portfolio. So I do expect citations anytime you take content from somewhere else that you didn't know yourself. Make sure that you are including those citations. Okay, so again, when you create this performance task, share it to my name and copy the link as your submission to Dropbox. So the submission to Dropbox is going to be a link only. Okay, so with that in mind, we'll go through the components now that you know what the expectations are, how to actually put it together. One of the questions that I have most often is, can we format it in any way we want? Like, can we add pictures? Can we add color? Can we use like template, Google document templates? Absolutely. As long as it's done in a Google document, you can format it as you wish. I do recommend that you use these headings as the headings to the different sections that you're supposed to complete. Organizationally, it's a lot easier for me to make sure that you're completing what you need to. It all follows a streamlined order, and it just makes a lot more sense. Okay. So you're going to start with your personal leadership philosophy. And I really want you to reflect on like you're learning in this course and come up with a statement, one clear statement, an explanation of your own personal leadership philosophy, something that you believe makes like who you are as a leader and what makes you a strong leader. So what I've done is I've actually linked in an article here from Indeed, which actually just takes you through what is a personal leadership philosophy. And it just explains what that is and gives you some different ideas. But it pertains to like your values, your theories, your guiding principles, what you learned in this course and what you think would make the most effective leader, given our societal challenges in 2024. Okay. So with that in mind, that is your first part. Okay. Nice and simple. Then you move into your leadership style. In this case, you're going to be reflecting on the different leadership styles that you learned in this course. I want you to reflect on your personality quiz assessments and your own self-analysis that you did in Unit 1. I want you to also explain one situation where you took a leadership role and how you demonstrated this leadership style, this particular leadership style that you selected. And again, you have to use the leadership styles that we learned in this course and then reflect on them as well as how it relates to this course as well. So connect, okay? In the third section, management decision-making and management and planning case study, you're given a case. So a business scenario, a specific scenario where, if you were the manager in this particular situation, you're being asked as to what you would do. However, you're going to be doing it from the perspective of using the planning process steps. So you're going to determine what you would do as a manager in this scenario, and then how you would make your decision using the steps of the planning process. So that ties directly to the curriculum that we learned in Unit 2. Okay. Again, connect this back to your leadership style that you just reflected on here. How do these steps to the planning process and how does your decision tie to the type of leader that you self-identify as? Okay. And that's your case right here that you're going to read through. In section 4, our focus will be on management styles and theories. So you'll want to go back to Unit 1 and review all the management styles and theories that we learned. So classical management, modern management, etc. I'm going to ask you to choose one of the classical management theories and one of the modern management theories. So one historical, one of modern day, based on all the theories that we learned. I think there were 14. Okay. And you're going to expand on why you feel these two theories best apply to your specific leadership style. So again, going back to your specific leadership style in question 2. Use an example from your own life or a future potential scenario where you might see yourself in a management situation where you will or have applied these theories and how. Okay, so again, focusing on the curriculum, really drawing on your knowledge from the course, but also applying it to your own life, your own stories, your own personal experiences. Okay. And then we move to section 5, which is on management skills. You're going to focus on the 4 functions of management that we learned throughout the course. So go back to that content as well. And you're going to identify how you've developed managerial skills over the course of your life so far. So deriving specifically to those 4 functions of management. Give specific examples for each function of management pertaining to your participation in school, work life, volunteering, etc. And give specific examples for each category of the management functions and the management skills tied to in this course. So again, curriculum, connect. All right. You're seeing a theme here, right? So the idea is this is not something that you can chat GPT your way through. It's based on knowledge, how much you've connected to the course, how many great notes you've taken, how organized you've been, and also your own reflective practice, right? And then the 6th section is a case study again. So this one is going to tie to management decision-making. So you're going to use your knowledge of motivational theories. So that's Unit 2, drawing on all the motivational theories that we learned. You're going to tell me what motivational theory you think best applies to your decision-making for this particular case scenario for company XYZ. In the 7th section, you're going to focus on goals and plans. So you're going to go back to the planning section of the course and you're going to look at SMART goals, outlining your immediate, medium range, and long-term career goals. So going back to the curriculum, back to those readings that we have. I mean, I know that in Dropbox, we had those readings, like those guided question sheets and readings, and it was probably like torture getting through those. But I'm telling you, if you did those and you did those well, they're going to be your lifeline through this performance task because those are your notes, right? Like that's the curriculum you need to know. And if you're going to university next year, you're going to be basically taking notes from textbooks and lectures and studying those just to get through your exams, right? So it is really good practice. And in the 8th section, The section is reflective of the acquisition of knowledge that you gained throughout the interview process in this course. So throughout this course, you were asked to interview 5 different people. So there was 3 teachers and then 2 different role models or leaders within your network. And I specifically requested that you did not use your parents or those adults that live within your own dwelling. In special cases, that was okay, but there were 5 different people that you interviewed throughout the course. So I want you to take that, like the knowledge that you gleaned from those interviews and reflect on that in this question. So the provocation in leadership, we learned that it takes followers to create movement. So we learned about that with the dancing guide video right in that first week of school. We cannot succeed alone. We have to take every opportunity to reach out, connect, and create, networks and connections along the way. So you're going to list these 5 individuals for which you interviewed, their relationship to you and their professional position. If for some reason you didn't do these parts of the course, like you just didn't do that project or assignment, then you can start fresh, go find 5 new people right now and do it, okay? And you're going to summarize, what did you learn from speaking with them? Be really specific. Hopefully these were great opportunities. I had some students say like the most beautiful things in their projects about what they learned, and that they had no idea that their aunt, did this for a living and they were just so inspired by them or what have you. So be specific about what you learned and then how you can apply them to your own life goals as mentioned in the previous section. Okay. Also, don't hesitate. Like if you didn't do a very good job of this or you have follow-up questions, you can go back for the purposes of this project and follow up with them. All right, and section 9 is another case study. This ties to our section in learning on human resources in Unit 3. You'll have another case study here for the Royal York in downtown Toronto. And then in this particular case, you're going to use what you've learned from human resource management and hiring practices and everything that we've learned about retention and sort of the recruitment and retention of staff and employees in this particular case study. So again, tying it back to all of your learning in human resources. And then in section 10, your concluding leadership statement. From this, you're going to prepare a 2 to 4 minute recorded interview of yourself. So this is a video just of you. No slide decks, no visuals, just you and me between the screen, of course, okay? I would like a direct link uploaded right directly into your portfolio. Ideally, this would be published to an unlisted YouTube account or a Google Drive. Make sure that I can see it, basically, okay? You obviously have to be present in the video. I don't want you reading off a script. I just want you to pretend that this is like a live interview between you and me. And if I were asking you these questions in an interview situation, how would you reply? Okay, so your video is going to include what type of leader you are and who you want to be. Are you the lone nut or are you the first follower? What makes you a leader? A guiding quote, which is a statement of your favorite leadership quote with reference to the source that you can include. Like in the actual interview, you can just refer to whoever it was that actually said it, and then just make sure that you include that as a bibliography entry. And then you're going to explain how it connects to your leadership development and why you selected this quote. And then your greatest takeaway from the course. Okay, so try to be specific. Okay, so outside of that, that's your 10 different sections of your portfolio. I know it's always a lot when you get it kind of initially, but students really enjoyed this project if they've been following along and doing what they need to do throughout the course. It's a really great summary. And again, if you have those course notes, it's really not hard to connect the pieces, especially because you're talking about yourself through the entire thing. Questions that come up a lot, like I said, students often ask, like, can I add pictures? Can I add things like that can make it vibrant or what have you come to life on the page? Absolutely. Please do. I would love that. Make sure that your portfolio is branded to you, like your leadership style. So think about colors and fonts and all that. You can play with all that. Does not need to be Arial, Times New Roman. I just ask that, you make it so that I can clearly read it and that the font is not larger than size 12, but it can really be anything beyond that. Okay. Do include a cover page. This cover page should capture both your theme and who you are as a leader. So make it thematic to your life and your leadership style. Include photos as you wish. And again, you can decide on the format of your portfolio, but keep in mind that it should be visually appealing, that the components should be clearly broken up using the headings that I've provided. That's easy for me to follow. You can imagine the amount of hours of marking that I have to do in a 2-day period to get these done. So I appreciate really well organized portfolios. So graphics and visuals can be included. It has to be generated in a Google document. Okay. There's a checklist of things that you can do to ensure, again, things that I would be looking for, right? For that ideal kind of level 4 performance task. There's a rubric also included here if you would like to see how the mark is broken down. With that in mind, if you go to Dropbox, you'll notice that there is a Dropbox for the performance task. To submit the performance task, you'll just be copying the link. That's all you have to do. There's no upload or anything. It's just the live link to your document. Do make sure you've shared it with me and you've given me editing privileges. Otherwise, I'll be calling your home. Okay. By the end of this course, we should know this by now. And that's it. So again, the expectations that you have 8 days in class to work on this, over 10 hours of in-class time. You should be balancing every day, contributing to it every day. This shouldn't be down at the last minute. I'll be checking in to follow that. We have time. So if you have any questions or you want to pop into a Google Meet, review what you're doing, ask me how things are going. If you have any specific questions, don't hesitate to email me. I will get back to you within 24 hours unless it's over this weekend. Okay. Otherwise, good luck with the project. You're almost there. And then tune in on Sunday night or Monday morning, whenever, for the next week's video, because I'll be going through the final exam in that instructional video. Okay. Have a wonderful week. Have a good time with this project. You're almost there. And I will see you online.